Final Destination was a film released in 2000 and went on to traumatize viewers with its horror franchise in the four films that followed. Everything from log trucks, tanning beds, escalators, and laser eye surgery have left people second guessing since. Now, 14 years after the latest FD film dropped, the sixth installment is here with Final Destination Bloodlines. But is it just more of the same? Side note, I will be referring to Final Destination as FD to save me from keep saying that, and there will be spoilers ahead. In Final Destination Bloodlines, Stephanie is plagued by a recurring nightmare of a tragic sky-high restaurant collapsing and killing everyone inside. Later, Stephanie, affectionately referred to as Steffi by her family, discovers the nightmare was a premonition her grandmother Iris had in the 1960s, and she was successful in being able to save people from the accident. But it started a ripple effect of Death's design being tampered with. So basically, Iris is the first person to have a premonition and kickstarted the events of the FD franchise. Per FD usual, Bloodlines opens with a premonition filled with tension and clues as to what would cause the deadly disaster, and it was so well done. The whole time, I was shaking my head at everything that was happening, especially going up into that restaurant. A young Iris is surprised by her boyfriend and they attend the grand opening. It was opened earlier than scheduled. First nope. I feel like it's not structurally sound. And it's not that I have a fear about heights, at least not a crippling one, but I'd rather not be up too high. So I was already feeling the tension there. Then there was a scene where the restaurant patrons are dancing to shout on a glass dance floor. Second nope. All that jumping up and down to that crunk ass song was having me squirming in my seat because I knew they were going to go through it and did. Everything that happened next was, of course, pure pandemonium, but again, it was done very well. Such a strong opening, and the kills got crazier from there. The story of Bloodlines, though, sticks with the Campbell/Reyes family. Once Steffi has a conversation with Iris and she explains how she was able to ward off death for so long, Iris tries to convince and help Steffi do the same for her bloodline, hence the title. Everyone who is a descendant of anyone Iris saved is on the chopping block. Stephanie quickly finds out death is nothing to mess with and tries to get her family on board. And then the rest of the story is pretty much the same as the previous films. There's no new formula here, just a bunch of people trying to defeat death. But I think the attraction of these films always comes from the trauma, unfortunately. It's like, what is this franchise going to ruin next and amplify irrational fears that very much become rational because of the FD films? Bloodlines was slow paced at times though, because it built time for the audience to attempt to care about the characters. And it's not like I didn't care about them because they were trying to figure out how to cheat death and I wanted them to win. But I forgot what I was watching. And in the end, Death's plan always comes together. And I couldn't help thinking back on all the ways Death tied up loose ends in the other films. And I kept thinking, why is Death so angry? Like, girl, be calm. Wendy said something in FD3 about Death being vicious. And I think it may have been after Frankie died in the drive-thru scene. And it's like, exactly. You're that mad about your plans being messed up? Is that the Virgo? Because you be tripping. And I can say that because I'm a Virgo. Also, a lot of the fans were happy to see Tony Todd appear in the film. He appeared in a few of the others, and his character had a nice tie-in to the franchise in this film. But knowing he was battling cancer and yet still delivered a vital role in this one was like a hug for the fans of the franchise. Now to the one thing that bothered me and one thing that had me questioning the FD lore. First, I forget where I saw it, but someone mentioned how too CGI the deaths looked, and I feel like they really got that way after 3. That's when they really started to look too fake and like it was shot with the intention to be seen in 3D. So that was a little jarring. And then just the concept of the bloodlines. Death was coming for every bloodline who Iris saved that day. So in regards to the franchise, is everyone who died in the franchise somehow a descendant, or is it just the 5 who had the premonitions? And because they saved those other people, they ended up on Death's list. You get what I'm trying to say? Overall, I enjoyed it. It was just like any other film in the FD franchise, but would I want another Final Destination movie? Yes and no. I'm a fan. It's probably in my top three of favorite horror franchises, so I will watch another one regardless. But I'm gonna need something to shake it up. We already got a prequel, even though we didn't know it was that at the time, but maybe it can lean more into why certain people are having premonitions. Clearly, it's not death trying to help them, so what is it? Other than that, I don't know where this franchise could go, yet I'd be curious. Final Destination Bloodlines is playing now in theaters. If you're a fan of the franchise, how did the sixth installment rank for you? Let me know in the comments.